Welcome to Pitch in the Zone, a weekly gathering of coaches that help one presenter improve a short pitch. The coaches include today Nathan Gold, Michael Marchak, Rick Pollack, Stuart Pink, and Massimo Peroncelli. Scotty Spursum is still out. I think she will be back next week. And our presenter today is Ira Alquiros. Ira has pitched here in the zone 2 times before. This is the 3rd time. As we all know, it's pretty much the charm. Ira, welcome back. And before we get started, just so we can put on the right hats, who is your target audience, Ira?
My target audience this time is actually angel investors, and we're looking for additional, seed money.
All right, all right. Are you going to show slides? If so, please.
Yes, I will.
Please. Okay, so please
Sure.
set up your slides. All right, you are a pro on that.
Wait, what do you see?
We see the Zoom window, your browser, basically.
Okay, that's it. Okay, there you go. Shall I start?
There, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, whenever you are ready, Ira, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Ira Alquiros, and I'm the founder of ReferApps. I want to invite you to start the spark of what I call ecolution, an e-commerce revolution putting people back into this economic equation. What does that mean exactly? ReferApps is an innovation to change the way we buy and sell products and services worldwide that includes everyone in its ecosystem. Whether you like it or not, you and I are a walking and talking advertising billboard with a smartphone. What you use and what you buy is what your friend sees. If your friend asks you where you got your nice watch, for example, you say, "Hold on a second, let me send you a link." Like Facebook that keeps tab of your friends, ReferApps keeps tab of who introduced you to a product or a service and compensates you accordingly. We give everyone with our app a free, full-featured online store that you can customize whether you have an actual product or not. Here is that watch. Click it. This seller is giving 25% commission. You can also pin it in your store to complement what you're selling. When you click refer, you can choose any platform, say Messenger. Here is how it looks on our app. You can tag your friends and send it. If your friend makes a purchase, you become the permanent referrer for that item or service, and that could be monthly recurring. Economy is really nothing but how fast we can share our ideas, our God-given talents, our natural resources compensated by many local currencies worldwide. But it's very inefficient and have too many hands in the jar, like banks, brokers, foreign exchanges, and many more. These institutions were all established originating from the Silk Road of China to minimize uncertainties of trading and guarantees that our hard work is compensated accordingly. Cryptocurrency is slowly changing all that, and trust is reclaimed by blockchain technology. The future of the internet will be paved not with silk, but with NFTs. If you type crypto and NFT in TED Talks, you'll find 3 talks containing 30 minutes that coincides exactly with our vision. Of course, it's too long for this pitch, but I will share you with these links to fully understand our vision. We're now soft launched in the Philippines to get all the bugs out, and boy, we have a lot. We have some big developments with the Philippine local government to start economic recovery. We're hoping to be the pioneer in transforming global currency to crypto backed by actual e-commerce transaction. Okay, we are raising 2 million additional seed money from an angel investor like you for 20% equity of our Delaware C Corp. 70% of your money will be used for Refer a Merchant program, advertising select products so we can be the initial referrer. 20% of your money will be used for operations, and 10% will be used to buy gas money for crypto and future NFT integrations. The return of investment in our estimate is of your 2 million in 2 to 3 years is about $20 million. Okay, thank you.
All right, all right, all right. Ira, very, very well done. I loved your energy today. Great, great energy. As always, I like your slides. Most of them, a couple of them could use a little bit work still. I think the most obvious one, and I looked at the reaction when you said, boy, we have a lot of bugs. I think that one does not necessarily add a lot of value. I would just delete that line altogether. If I looked at Nathan's face, it was like his eyes almost popped out of his face here.
Actually, it wasn't on the script. It wasn't on the script. I just added it.
Yeah, it's all good. You need to experiment with these things, of course, right? And see what works, what doesn't. So let me start the round of feedback here today with Rick. Rick, what kind of feedback do you have? You've seen this 2 times before as well, I believe. So please take it from here.
All right, and Ira, very nice job. Yeah, this is the 3rd time I've seen you present, and a couple things that I noticed. I thought the introduction here, you went right into where you we're starting the ecolution. And, to me, I was curious, what does ecolution mean? I don't know if you really defined it that well. I mean, you put the term out there, and then if you ask me at the end, well, what does ecolution mean? I don't know if I could really answer it with a simple answer. I mean, I know what ReferApps does, but I didn't get exactly what you were doing that tied in. So now I knew what the ecolution was. But I like that. I thought there was another thing where one of your slide titles said, I think it said, better innovated system back in the loop. And I wasn't quite sure what back in the loop was. I understood how it worked. I thought the demo was great, where you could step people through, and the graphics were that, okay, here's how you do is, here's my watch, and you see with the phone and exactly how you refer it. That was very clear in just showing the demo and the sequence, and it was about the right amount of time, wasn't too fast, wasn't too slow. It worked out well, I think. But one thing in the demo, you were fine, and then you said, if someone buys that watch, you become the permanent referrer.
Correct.
And I wasn't quite sure. I understand about the store, and I understand how it works. If someone sees my watch and they buy it through the referrer, I get a commission. But I wasn't sure when you said, okay, now you become the permanent referrer. That means if I have the app and someone sees my watch, fine. That means does Massimo have to take that off of his app, and no one, if he has the same watch?
Actually, no.
Okay, that then permanent referrer kind of, to me, implies that. So that, I think you can clarify that. The other thing, this is, I think, the first time you've talked about crypto and NFTs. I don't remember that from the previous things. So, and that I like where you said, the road is not paved with silk, but with NFTs, and you're talking about crypto and blockchain. And then again, you had the when you're asking for 10% gas money for crypto. And I'm saying, gas money? Crypto needs gas. Oh, okay, gas money instead of. But I don't know. I understood it fine. Crypto, if you ask people to explain crypto, and like someone says, I can explain crypto in 5 words, and like people say, no one understands crypto, no one understands blockchain. So does it really add to ReferApps? To me, when I hear crypto, I said, oh, I'm not going to understand crypto or blockchain or NFTs. So I don't know. Putting it in there makes it, well, hey, this is really cool. It's current because crypto and NFTs and blockchain is current. But I don't know if it really makes this more attractive to an investor. I think it's more like you're accepting crypto, you have NFTs, but I didn't quite see the connection of, ReferApps will work without it. How does crypto and NFTs make ReferApps work better? So I think that was kind of an unanswered question you have, but just overall, I have a very specific call to action. I like the app. I understand how it works, and I'm just, concerned that crypto and NFTs and some of the other things just add a little confusion in there. But very well done, Ira.
Thank you, thank you.
Great feedback as always, Rick. And this was the one part that confused me as well, the crypto thing quite a bit. And perhaps you can just replace all of the crypto bit with just one sentence, and that's something like, and of course, as a modern platform, we also accept crypto, and just leave it at that. And that, gives the audience, the investor, a good picture that yes, you are looking into the future without going in there and confusing the audience, as you have me and possibly other people here as well. Michael, what kind of feedback do you have for Ira?
Well, Ira, first of all, I liked your presentation, your energy. Like they mentioned before, I think just seeing you present is great. Seeing your personality come out, which is really good. Like others mentioned, I'm gonna split this into two pieces. One is the presentation itself. I thought I like the animations, like the storytelling you had as part of that. That makes sense. It's still focused a lot on, if you're looking at doing this to investors, I think you spent most of the time on the consumer aspect of how the application works, which is, I think you need to have some kind of understanding of how the platform operates and such. So it's good to have that in there. Again, a lot of it, much of the presentation was that though. When it gets to the second part of it, the business angle of this here, if you're talking to an angel investor, maybe it's just me being dazed and confused when you threw NFT crypto stuff in there, and I missed the part where you talked about how you actually make money. But I wasn't sure when you talk about we need to have a couple $1 million and we're going to do this and we're going to have an ROI at the end of the day. I didn't make the connection in there to see how that actually worked. So if you're going to do this as an investor pitch, I would hope you have, here's the basis of what the application is, and here's all the financial stuff that makes it work. And here's the gap I've got that I'm looking for funding for to bridge from the startup thing to all this money at the end of the rainbow on the other side. And I didn't catch that part when you were presenting. So that's the two parts to that. Love the energy, but as others mentioned, that crypto piece, NFTs, and ReferApp, all of a sudden I was confused and I didn't see any more of the money stuff. And then I think my brain shut off at that point because it didn't make sense to me. So that's my feedback.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Michael. And moving right along, Massimo, what kind of feedback do you have for Ira?
Yes, Ira. Well, first of all, congratulations, because of all the 3 times you presented. This was absolutely the best from the content, from the presentation itself. And I was able to totally follow that. And it was very well explained compared to the other times. Like everybody else said to me, it was like totally like jumping from, okay. Crypto NFT. What you're talking about? Why? For what? And then you said, yeah, $2 million, of which 10% of gas money in crypto. Hey, wait a moment. You're using $200,000 in crypto? I mean, to me, it's a big amount of money that we know how those things can go, right? And so to me, and I guess to some investors, crypto is still highly, speculative. So it's kind of scary if you don't really explain what you use that for. Exactly. And it's 10% of 2 million is 200,000. So that's big. So I agree with everybody else about that. Still, I think I already said it last time. There is that slide with the big, forbidden sign blinking that I didn't understand what it meant. And it was brief this time, just 2 or 3 seconds. And I didn't really have time to understand. But to me, that big sign, negative, it creates a kind of negative feeling into the audience. So either use the opposite, saying we do that instead, or to me, it just doesn't look good. I don't like it. That's just my personal.
I haven't edited it yet because it's part of the how do you call this, the pandemic portion, that when the
Ah,
pandemic
oh,
hit.
okay. Okay,
And
the
I,
slide.
I don't know how to edit the animation. That's the problem. So that's
Oh,
one of the
okay.
slides that I was trying to edit.
Okay. But yeah,
No, okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, apart from the NFT and crypto stuff, to me, even without mentioning that, it would have been perfect. Meaning, I understood everything, and uh, I personally know that in 3 minutes it's hard to explain everything, and
Exactly.
so taking that into the account, I think you did a great job, and just either, as Claudio said, summarize it in a single sentence or make it bigger, but try to really explain what you used it for, because it was not clear, totally not clear. But yeah, congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you, Massimo. And there definitely is a common theme here in the feedback. So thank you very much, Massimo. And moving right along to Stuart. Stuart, what kind of feedback can you present to Ira?
Well, hi, Ira. Well done. This is the first time I've heard this talk. Guess what? I was thinking exactly what everyone else has been saying in the feedback. I really enjoyed the presentation. And for me, it really was a presentation of two halves. And this can happen sometimes. I think your first half was so good that it made it noticeable that the second half wasn't up to the standard of the first half. So the first half, I loved the graphics, I loved the animation, I loved your explanation. Everything flowed. It was so simple. It made sense. And then suddenly crypto, NFTs, boom, boom, boom. And it was much, much harder to follow and possibly not necessary as well, as others have said. I think as well, when you reference the TED Talks, you don't want to be delegating your explanation to do your own research. Here's the link. You, of course, can say, I have more information if you would like it. And then getting towards the end, the business side of things, those slides, there was a lot of information on them, which made them hard to follow in a quick period of time. And so the return on investment, I only saw briefly, but it looked unbelievable to me. I think in that category of, wow, this is too good to be true. And I'm not the sort of real businessman, but if I'm thinking that, my guess is that other investors might be thinking that. Michael probably knows more than I do about this. So you'd want to be able to back up your figures and be able to justify your predictions. So overall, I think it was good and little bits to work on. And it's a nice problem to have when part of what you're presenting is so good that you then need to bring the rest of it up to that level. But thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for the comment. I just wanted to comment there too. The crypto portion, I just thought that it has a more when you present it to an investor who understood exactly what we're trying to do. There's a lot of things going on in the crypto world, and there's a lot of uncertainties because it's very volatile. It's all over the place. And a lot of people are playing games just to gain money from cryptos and all those things. And we kind of sat back and say, how can we kind of tie this up with actual money and actual transaction, so it's not too volatile? And how do we prevent them from becoming like the whales and pulling out? There's a lot of things going on in the crypto right now, and it's really hard to explain. But the links that I could send you, would explain it. It's in 30 minutes, and there's no way for me to explain the excitement that I have. There's one company in India who did the same thing, and they're only targeting smaller companies like TikTok, and they're called Changari. And in 24 hours, they were able to raise $40 million. Ours is, I was able to say the amount because the Philippine government right now, we just spoke a couple of times already with the Undersecretary of DILG, which is the Department of Interior and Local Government, and they have 42,047 local governments in the country. And we presented to them a way to launch it in all their, we call it barangays, so small each barangay probably have about 20 to 30 different merchants, where they will put all the merchants together and they'll create their own store and pin all the other stores so people can start referring from there. And 42,000. We were thinking on the first 6 to 1 year, we will do just the local governments in the bigger metropolitan areas. We're targeting about 4,000 areas, and that should be enough to bring us to about 30 to 40,000 users and more.
And I think that you could certainly include that in your pitch then, couldn't you? Because those are impressive numbers, I think.
Yeah, we were actually interviewed on the radio also, and also online, but it's in our language, in the Philippine language. So, and they were very excited about the program. They were talking about it even the next week. So it's hard. I don't know. You guys could help me how to get this thing done, and I do thank you guys for doing all these things, because it's wonderful to find feedbacks that I couldn't get anywhere else. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Sure. And we still have Nathan coming up here with his feedback. So Nathan, please take it from here.
Sure, happy to do that. I won't say anything everybody else has said before. Let's just go to some of the things I did notice. One thing is you really showed up here today with your true authentic self, and I really appreciate that. You know, most people shut down, they go into this, I don't know who you are person when they're presenting, but you really came through today, so nice. When you were going through your opening, it reminded me of the early days of the marketplaces where people would just grab other stuff and start selling it, and then offer a lead to the person that's actually selling that item, and if they pay a commission, then they would, pass the lead on. It sort of reminded me of that a little bit. But everything up to the mention of the word billboard confused the crap out of me. Your opening, it was wonky, in my opinion. I didn't understand start a spark, and then it just was very confusing. As soon as you got to hey, we are all walking billboards for what we buy. And that is where you got I really came forward in that. And that moment I thought, why doesn't he just start with something like that? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to buying stuff, we love to tell people about it, don't we? Which makes us a billboard, or whatever you want to use as a good metaphor. That's a good metaphor.
That's a good idea.
I'd like to see you pause a little bit more here and there. Pause for effect, especially after you say something that's really powerful. Like, we see people like you and me, we're like billboards. Did he just say billboard? And then that can come to life in our minds a little bit. Without a little bit of a pause, you're just taking up our minds with what's coming next. I loved your demo. Your demo to me was spot on. Just really liked how easy it was to follow and how quickly it happened, where you were doing the voiceover and it was just moving things around. So, and you had all that done by 1 minute and 30 seconds. So you still had, he still has a whole minute and a half to keep going. I very much liked what Rick said about the fact that it was confusing as to what does it mean when you own the product yourself. I'm not on your marketing team or dev team. I don't think that's a good idea. Why would I want to put someone else's watch on my ReferApps website when I get nothing for it?
No, you do actually. The merchant determines what kind of commission they will give to anyone. To anyone who could refer, anyone with our app, which is live already.
Okay.
As soon as you join, you become a seller and a marketing team for anyone. The recurring one that I was talking about is our services. So I started in New York with internet services. That at that time, we were going against AOL. We consolidated all the big telco like MCI, AT&T, PSINet, and all those things. Right. And our cost then was like $10. We gave ours for $20, and AOL was $19.95. So instead of building our own marketing team, I said, why don't we just split the profit with whoever can bring us a client? So you bring me a friend, you knock $5 off. You pay $15. You bring me 4, and you're free. It's not multi-level. You bring me the 5th, I pay you money every single month. We split the profit with whoever. And right now, it's just opening it up to all services and all products. starting here in the Philippines and going worldwide.
Okay. Okay. All right. That obviously needs a little clarity in the way you present it. In terms of your ask, I feel like you should just say, we're looking to raise $2 million to grow this business, and that's it. All that other stuff you gave me, the return on investment in a first meeting, that's like really dangerous. I would never.
I thought that was necessary. I wasn't sure.
Maybe some investors will ask you what you project in terms of a return on investment and how long, but that's trying to predict the future, and that's how can you?
Sure.
It's almost a trap in a way to get into that kind of discussion, and you have to be careful here in the U.S. of even talking that out loud in public rooms when you start talking about that kind of stuff. If the SEC is in the room, they could fine you for soliciting people in the room who may or may not be full accredited angel investors. But I digress.
I'm learning.
We don't need all the levels of that funding thing, 70% here, 20% here, 5% here. And I also I'll finish by saying, come back again. We'd be happy to see you again because, as Stuart said, you've got the magic pieces. We just need to pull those out and wrap them up nicely so that you can finish comfortably in 3 minutes. But I feel like you're asking for too much money right now without more proof. And I haven't even heard your proof. Like, I don't know how many people are using it. I don't know how many, what's happening in the background.
We started, we advertised for 18 days in the Philippines pre-pandemic.
Yep.
In 18 days, we built 36,000 members and over 6,000 items. Our system couldn't handle it, and it just blew up. So we had to go from scratch again and kind of build it, which our system now is scalable. We went to AWS and Amazon now.
Right.
But word of mouth really in the Philippines is #1 in texting. So everybody is on the phone texting all the time. The texting capital of the world. So it's perfect to launch it here before I go back to the States. So and we have the plans already on what to do and when to do it and all these things. And our estimate is actually very conservative. Because of what can happen here when the 42,047 local governments gets involved, because we were talking already to the undersecretary a couple of times already, and they like it a lot, and they said it could really help the industry and the economy here. So hopefully it goes worldwide. So we don't know.
Well, it sounds like you have something that's making it go sort of viral very quickly, and take a close look at that, because that's part of your magic, and that you can bring up to your investor as you're presenting it, is that we've figured out this way of getting out there into the eyes and ears of our users very quickly, and maybe don't give away the actual way you do it, but the numbers that you just shared with us prove that you can do that.
Yes.
So come back again.
Investors love to hear that. Investors love to hear that. I have too much business. That's why I need your money to help me keep up with it. Honestly, if you're saying I got so much growth happening, I need more money to help fund it. That's the kind of thing that investors will say, oh, okay, now I see there's a real business behind it. Now, how are you making money? What's your margins on this stuff to help you grow? And then we start looking at that. But that is a great story that is missed in your presentation to investors, at least.
Oh, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Actually.
I would chuck something else in favor of that short story. Eventually you won't have to use that, because you'll have, thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that are buying and selling all the time now.
Actually, on my slides, I just put it all the way at the bottom. I have all those projections and the graphs and all those things. But I couldn't fit it in 3 minutes, so I kind of pushed almost half away. And sometimes I was, maybe jumping all over the place.
But Ira, when you're talking, if you're truly doing this as an investor pitch, then what you do is you reduce that first part of it to say, this is what we do. Get it succinct so that within 30 seconds, hey, we do referral kind of things. We use an app to do it. Here's how we manage it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And because of that, we've had this rolled off soft launch, and this is where we ended up. This is why I need the funding to help to do it. Our margins are X. We project our margins to go to here if we are able to scale to this way here. As part of that, that's why we need the help to do that with your funding. Here's, after that, they can do the math in their head. They can ask you more questions about the user group, how you manage it. If you're getting to crypto and NFT at some point and that's an option, they can ask about that. But take that first part and say, we've had success. And with that success, we can't keep up with the growth. That's why we need the funding. That's what you're at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for. And then when then you say, here's why we need the money and here's how much we're asking for to help fuel that growth. That's an investor pitch.
Absolutely. Plus, the pandemic kind of pushed us back a bit, and kind of stretched my budget up, very thin. So that's what happened, really. And we're doing it again in time of the pandemic, and everybody's working from home, and it's tough. But we finally, and we were over that hump, and we're ready to relaunch again, actually. So.
Awesome. Well, I have a feeling we could go on for another 30 minutes. Unfortunately, we are at the end of this block here. At the beginning, I said the third time is a charm. It was almost there, Ira. And as Nathan suggested, come back one more time. Come back one more time with the integration of all the feedback from today. And I think you will absolutely nail it. And with that, I want to thank all of the coaches for your valuable feedback. I believe you gained a lot of insight here today, Ira. And I do look forward to seeing you again in a future Pitch in the Zone very, very soon. And with that, I wish you all a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and we'll see each other again next week. Bye-bye.